Well, good afternoon, and here we are, Shep, on the eve of the Keith Noud Quality, a great race, and I guess as the dust kind of settles on the Spring Carnival down in Melbourne and Sydney, our summer really starts to ramp up from here onwards, and track currently rated a heavy 9. No matter the conditions we have from this afternoon and tomorrow, I think we should, play a genuine soft, heavy track, railing the true, so everyone should get their chance, and we line up with the 2-year-olds here in the first race. A couple of first starters. How'd you see this race?
Yeah, I'm going with one of the first starters in Sweetie from the Tony Gollan yard. It's really taken by its trial. I thought it was a professional effort to win it, and it looked like it had plenty in the tank. I think from the inside gate, it can just drive forward and lead and control things. There's a bit of a question mark obviously over the track and how she handles it, but breeding suggests that she will.
Yeah, I mean, her mum loved the wet track, and that trial, was very impressive. Obviously, she's got to take that trial form to race day and do it under the race day conditions. But if she can, I think she's a nice horse that we can continue to follow. Race 2 of the day is a benchmark 80 for the more seasoned campaigners over the 2,000 metres, Shep. We've seen a fair few of these horses over the last couple of weeks, but we haven't seen them on a heavy track. So how'd you see this race?
Yeah, I think young blood can hit back in winning form here. Like, ran third last. That wasn't a bad effort, but did win nicely the 2 starts before that. He'll appreciate the wet ground. Stats suggest that that will be the case, and did win on a heavy 10 two preparations back. I don't think he'll be too far away in the run, and he can just
Look, I agree 100%, and hopefully for your sake, Shep, and hopefully for our followers' sake, the Tony Gollan say we can go bang bang to start the day at Doomben on Saturday.
I think Flensburg's probably the danger there. Another Tony horse. Yeah, really nice heavy track win last start.
Worth a little Quinella play and cheer on the Tony Gollan stable in the second race. Race 3 of the day at Doomben, Shep, is a Class 6 over a mile. A few nice horses lining up here. Kubrick 2 years ago, you would have thought, the world's his oyster, and took him another 2 years to win here at Doomben last start. I couldn't have backed him last start. If you did, well done. Rebel Salute, interesting horse here, Shep. He seemingly, grows lengths on a wet track.
Yeah, absolutely loves the wet track. I think Brian and Daniel Gold would have been rubbing their hands together when they saw this rain come through this week. But yeah, I'm with him. I thought last start over the 1350, he was doing his best work late, so the step up to 1600 will suit. And gets the claimer, Cole Wilson-Taylor.
Cole Wilson-Taylor, yeah, 2 kilos off and comes down to about 54 kilos. So it's something I love. I know we all love it. A horse that can handle a heavy track with a good, strong claiming apprentice. I must agree. I agree with you there, Shep.
I guess the danger's so taken from the Chris Waller stable. It was a very nice run last start.
Yeah, I guess from the punter's perspective out there, I think Chris, he's got the the favourite and the third favourite. So just watch the market there throughout the day and see if the stable comes to back one over the other. Race 4 of the day, benchmark 72, again over the mile. Casey Fogden will be hoping she can start the day in the winner's stall in the first race, but do you think she can do it here?
I do. I think Neutron can get the cash here. Was caught wide last start against a very good horse, Sir Warwick, and I think there was plenty of merit in the run because you can't run that wide and keep going. But the start before that bolted in by 3.5 lengths. I think that's a telling stat here. Step up to this distance, I don't think it'll be a problem.
What about the Scottish Miss from the Heathcote stable? You're saying just before you didn't think it could run a bit of a race at a bit of an each way price.
I do. I think it charged home last start, caught the eye, and I think against this field it could probably do a similar thing.
Barrier 4, Taylor Marshall on board. You don't lose anything with that. Interesting race is race 5 on Keith Noud Day at Doomben. It is for the 3-year-olds over the 1200 metres, Shep. But we're only speaking during the week when we saw noms, and looking at this race, you'd think it was more of a 2-year-old race. A lot of them only having first starters, second or third start. They're still relatively new in their career. But I think this would be a very good form reference, as we head on to Summer Carnival.
I think you're right there. I'm with a first starter here in Manhood from the Michael Costa yard. Interesting run of this. It was opened at about $10 and quickly backed into $4.
Yep.
I think they don't usually miss the mark with this stable.
No, and I think one thing Michael Costa is known for, and he prides himself on, is putting horses in the right races. He could have gone to the Gold Coast home track or crossed the border like he usually does and got an easy kill. But to be sending this horse to town for its first start suggests it's shown above average ability.
Yeah, one of my friends is a very good form judge, and he said that this horse might be a black type winner. So
we'll keep his name quiet, but he might have to get name and shamed if it doesn't get home. First leg of the quaddie, Shep. We know you love a quaddie. We all love a quaddie. But most importantly, the quaddie, you need to get up in the first leg. And Race 6 is the benchmark over the 1,050. They'll fly over the 1,000 metres here, Shep. And
They sure will.
what did you find here?
Well, originally I was with Eloquently, but Steve Tregay scratched it for another day. So I've ended up with She Can Sing, another Costa horse.
Another Costa horse?
Yeah. Thought it had a very nice trial win recently, and what stands out for me was its win at the Gold Coast last time we saw it. It was quite a strong win.
Yeah, I think she definitely demands respect heading into this race. Another first start I'm looking forward to see. Obviously, we'll only find out scratching times if it will line up. Is Pelisipan from the Chris Mutt stable. It's really impressive what this horse is able to do. Forget its last start at the end of the prep. That was the week skinnies. It was meant to be run the week before, wet weather, postponed that. And by that stage of the prep, I just believe the horse had enough. It was looking for a spell. It had done more than enough.
Yeah, I think if he gets through the run, gets through the track,
Yeah.
the conditions, yeah,
And of course,
definitely a factor.
we can't forget Lyrical Girl, another horse from the Tony Gollins stable who lifted for the My Runners crew there last start and got back into the winner's stall. Showed a little bit of promise that she showed at an early stage. They'll all be hoping that she can take that next step and
Yeah.
go back to back.
We'll certainly hear the cheers if she does win.
Race 7 of the day, Shep. Second leg of the quaddie is a benchmark 72 over 1,200 metres, and obviously Lyrical Girl is set to line up in race 6 for a micro syndication of My Runners, and another micro syndication organisation is Queensland Rogues, and they've got a horse lining up here in the big goodbye for Rob Heathcote and Leah Kilner.
Yeah, I think it can go back to back. It was a very impressive win last start. Leah gave it a perfect ride from the outside gate. Before that, it run second 3 times in a row, so it was a bit of frustration there for the team. Wet track form suggests it'll get through the ground, no worries. It ran well when it was in Adelaide, and yeah, I think it can go back to back.
And I mean, Leah, again, we've already spoken about it today, but you know, Apprentice coming in and relieving that weight from 59.5 to 57.5 is massive on a wet track.
Yeah, I think under the conditions it looks good.
Yep.
Set weights.
Race 8 of the day at Doomben, Shep, the Keith Noud quality, and I guess that's what everyone's waiting to see. A few very good horses lining up here, and none more so than probably the Harrovian, but it'll be interesting to see, you know, the fitter horses have had 2 or 3 runs before this up against the first starters. How did you see this race?
Yeah, I agree with you there, Will. You know, I think with a few races under the belt, it definitely is an advantage, and that's why I'm with Tambo's mate. It was a very nice win last start over the 1,050. Like, he really charged home, and I think the step up to 1,200 is perfect for him, and he's undefeated on wet tracks.
Yeah, I really like it. I think he's got from that barrier, he'll be able to slot into the right run. A couple of horses I like here are back markers, and that does concern me a little bit at Doomben, but Simply Fly loves the wet track, and down on the minimum 54 kilos of Mark Duplessis to ride. Look, he's going to get back and you'll be holding your breath, but I believe he's good enough to win this race, or she's good enough to win this race. Sorry.
I mean, you can't discount the Harrovian.
All right, Shep, the Get Out Stakes here, race 9 at Doomben, benchmark 85, Gallopers Sports Club over the 1350, and everyone at the track, I'm sure, will be waddling into the great Gallopers after the last, but we want to go there with a bit of money in our pocket, Shep, and how are we going to get out in the last?
Well, I've been with Michael Costa earlier in the day, and I'm going to go again with the favourite here. Going with the favourite. I think it was an arrogant win last start at the Gold Coast. It was something to behold, and I think it can go on with it here.